So my name is Taylor Hampton. I'm a proud Nyimpa Radri man, born and bred in West Wyalong, and currently work at the VACCA as the team leader in comms. My role is to oversee a number of different programs. So my role is to oversee a number of different programs through our Triple P, which is positive parenting programs, our cultural groups, so overseeing our homework groups in a couple of schools, holiday groups, men's yarning circle, carers yarning circles, and also I was overseeing cultural mentoring as well within internally, so through our out-of-home care, kinship and targeted care package space. So what I'm going to do today is just talk a bit about VACCA and a bit about what we do and I suppose why we do what we do, and then after we can hand it to you guys for any questions that you have. I have noticed here, Virginia, as well, that there's a couple of people here, a number of people from VACCA as well, so it's, just from all different around the regions as well. So welcome everyone, and
welcome.
Thanks for joining in. So I suppose we'll talk about VACCA and Ovens Murray Goulburn. We are relatively new to the area. Started in, I couldn't tell, I believe it was 2018, 2019, around that time, with a handful of staff. I think it was up to, I think maybe 10 people that probably started at VACCA and Ovens Murray, which started in Wangaratta, and since then, coming to now, we've got 4 offices now: Wangaratta, Wodonga, Shepparton, which provides the Kitchika program, and now we've just opened up shop in Benalla with a number of different services in a service down there, and we service all around Ovens Murray Goulburn. Go to we've got Wodonga Shire, Indigo, Towong Shire, Alpine, go all the way up to Mansfield, go to Shepparton. So we really service a lot of different areas for a lot of our different clients in a lot of different programs as well. Some of our programs that we have primarily in out-of-home care, we have our kinship and first supports. We've just picked up a foster care program. We have Better Futures, targeted care packages, which supports our young people that are at risk of entering the residential system, or either at the residential system and trying to transition out into a more secure placement. So there's a bucket of funding in that packages. We also have our access programs for the Kitchika and permanent care as well. And so through the Kitchika, our case advisors, they do have a significant role, and it's an agreement between through the department and VACCA, which to be consulted. I think across all the different phases of child protection involvement. So once a young person's in, reported, I suppose, to child protection, then it's the Kitchika become involved and make sure that we're supporting that child into a positive Aboriginal placement, through whether it's through family or if it's not through family, then it's through another placement with hopefully an Aboriginal family as well. So we also provide advice and consultations to make sure that the workers are being culturally appropriate and supportive to our young people and families, and also the community that they're working in, and for those decisions are based around and determine the future of our Aboriginal children, I suppose, all across the intervention within child protection. Some of our other programs that we have is our early intervention programs. So we have our family preservation and reunification response programs. We have our family services, intensive family services, and that work through reunification of our children and young people. We also have a Kura Youth program, which is due to end, I think, at the end of the financial year. But we have a number of young people in this program that we're running different activities for these young people to feel connected to their culture, and to provide I suppose a safe and supportive environment for them. Some of our other things that we do in terms of the groups and the community engagement, I touched on them a little bit. We have our men's yarning circle, which we support Aboriginal men between the ages of 16 and up, and they are men that are, have been involved in whether it's family violence, drug and alcohol, have mental health, and we bring these men together for one particular purpose, and that is to build a safe space for them and a safe environment so that they can, whether they want to share their stories or whether they want to just be together with like-minded men that are, want to make a change for themselves. And the activities that we do, we have our one of our elders, Uncle Chris Thorne, who's our facilitator, and a couple of other men that are facilitating as well. And in that program, we create activities, whether it's making a boomerang, a returning boomerang, or doing some art projects for these men. It goes for about 8 weeks, and they're just after the 8 weeks, they get to take their project home, and they're more than welcome to come back to the next program once we pick it up again. And we're just about to finish our second project or second program in the next couple of weeks, and then after that we have a celebration or a ceremony for these men. We do a bit of a smoking ceremony and a welcome, and provide them with their piece of artwork that they've created, and also then give them a certificate of completion. It's a really I think it's a great way for these men to feel included in the community as well. Some of the other groups that we have, we have our homework groups, and we're working in 2 schools at the moment, one in Wangaratta and one in Wodonga, where we support our Aboriginal students at those schools through the school term, and have a range of different activities, and also include homework in that as well. So not only are there activities, they're educational through culture, but also we provide that support for our young people. If they would like to do some homework, whether it's reading or actual schoolwork, then we've got the opportunity, or they've got the opportunity to do that with our staff as well. Through our Triple P program, our positive parenting program, we do one-on-one support for our carers and parents in our out-of-home care and TCP space, and that is just to provide support for those carers and parents that need that that extra bit of hand to support their children when they're in their placement, and then we also have a Triple P group space where the parents and carers come together as a group, and they provide their any advice or they get any advice and support as a group, and they can provide their own little feedbacks or their experiences and help each other out. We have our supported play group, carers yarning circle, carer support group, cultural mentoring. What else do we have? We're just about to employ a community engagement support officer as well, which I believe will start next week or this week, which will go out into the community and provide that support through any activities or events that we hold or that the community hold that VACCA will be involved in. So we'll actually be able to go out into the community and provide a lot more involvement to our Aboriginal community and the services that we work with as well. Some of the other programs we have as well as the family violence programs. We have our Heart program, which is Healing Through Art, which is a therapeutic women's art program. So we have a range of different women coming to come together and create. It's kind of like the men's yarning circle, but they just come together and they create an art piece of artwork for themselves and to be able to be connected to like-minded women as well. And they also then provide family violence case management. Some of our statewide programs as well as the kinship family findings. So if there's anything that we any information that we need from our young people or for our young people, we send a request through our family findings through our kinship space, and they provide a bit more background that we'll need to be able to provide into their cultural support plans or gives us a bit more insight of their family history, and so that we can then provide that appropriate support for them. We have link up, permanent care. We have also external training as well. Something that I'll be moving into in the next couple of weeks is to provide that training to not only internal staff statewide, but also external staff. So I'll be around doing a lot of external training for organisations and services that need that cultural awareness or any kind of other certain cultural training. We also have a website as well. So we have the VACCA website, a cultural hub, Deadly Stories website, which goes through a lot of different pieces of information and activities that you can print off and give to your kids, and to allow them to get some resources from there. And some of our other programs, I'm just going through them, I suppose. We have an Aboriginal Patient and Family Support Officer, which is Michelle Dinan, who's based in Wangaratta, goes to Wang and Benalla a bit. So it's a free patient support service covering Benalla Health and Northeast Health as well. So it's to assist community members to feel safe when accessing the healthcare, and providing a holistic approach in cultural awareness, culture and understanding as well. And so it's about families and families to reach out to our worker, even within our maternal health service system as well. So even when they're just about to give birth, she's able to they're able to go and see her, so they can provide some support before Bub comes along. And so when Bub does come along, we're able to provide a bit more of a intense support if needed as well. So if you need to access that support, you just I can send you the information. I can put it in the chat with Michelle's email and details to be able to access any kind of help if you need to. I think that's pretty much really about it in terms of the programs that we run. I think one of the bigger things that I've come across, and I was talking to Fiona and Virginia before, is that a lot of the people say around VACCA is that you need to be linked in with child protection and to be referred by child protection to work with VACCA. That's not necessarily the case all the time. We do have programs where you can self-refer, where you can do external consultations or secondary consultations, provide advice or receive advice and guidance on how to provide a culturally and safe support and environment for your clients that you're working with. There's a lot of different people in a lot of different programs that we have here in Ovens and Murray Goulburn that there's going to be someone in this region that will be able to help out, if it's not to work with your client, but we can obviously provide that support and that advice, and we've got connections within the community to be able to support you to find out where to go to if it's not with us, and if it is with us, then we've got the people and the professionals to be able to provide that support as well. I think that's pretty much about it from our end. If there's any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. I just want to make it clear that if there's a question that I do not know, then I will write it down and I'll speak to the appropriate person to be able to provide that answer, and then I can send it to either Fiona, Karen, or Virginia to be able to send it to you guys, so that answer doesn't left unanswered, I suppose.
Thanks for that presentation, Taylor. That was awesome. It's amazing the amount of responsibility that VACCA have there and the breadth of work that you do.
Yeah.
I guess my question was, and it may be difficult to put or to say what the priorities. What would you say the top 3 priorities right now for VACCA would be, and then I guess maybe 1 or 2 challenges?
I think one of the main priorities that we have, and it's always going to be a priority of us, is providing a safe, culturally safe and supportive environment for our children, young people, and families. You know, we go off on the model of culture therapeutic ways, whereas it's we make sure that we're putting culture in everything that we do when we're supporting our young people or our clients. And I think that's one of the biggest priorities that we have is providing that cultural safe environment. One of the other things is that self-determination. You know, we want to make sure that our families and our children or our clients their voices are heard, and we want to make sure that we advocate for them as best we can when we're in professional meetings, care team meetings, when we're attending health services. Just making sure that they're getting they're providing the best care for them as best as possible, and making sure that again, culture is at the forefront of that. I think one of the gaps or one of the barriers that we're facing, or that that I've seen, that I've faced in the past in the number of roles that I've been here, is I think just the lack of knowledge around what we do, and that's not at anyone's fault. It's just that we're quite new in the region, and a lot of people, a lot of services don't know a lot about what VACCA do. So, and that's something that we're really working hard to change. And I think with our new community engagement officer, we'll be able to bridge that gap to be able to go out there in the community, and not just at events, but just meet people in the community, go to services and organisations, and meet the clients there, and just say, look, here's what we do, here's how we can support you if you need that support. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones that we have. I think, one of the good things that we do here that I want to touch on as well is focusing on our well-being. That we have our internal EAP support services, which not only supports all of our staff, but we also, being Rainbow Tick accredited, we also have a specific LGBTQIA+ EAP service to make sure that community is feeling heard as well. And what we do internally here at Ovens Murray Goldman is we offer wellbeing sessions, or yarning sessions, what we call them, to all our staff. Started at once a week, moved to once a fortnight, and now it's moved once a month, and that's just due to the workload that we have. But in these yarning sessions that we do is we have Uncle Chris and myself, and we meet with all the staff. At the moment, it's just been going through online, but we just talk about how everyone's going, whether it's what you're doing on your weekends, talking about culture, talking about experiences, sharing stories. Just it's literally just a yarn, just to have an hour where you can just shut everything off and focus on having that one-on-one, or that group discussion, and there's no judgment. And what we make sure for our staff is that everyone's on their own journey, and they're with their culture, whether you're Aboriginal or not. You're working with Aboriginal clients and families, that you're on some form of journey, and where you are on that journey, it doesn't matter, as long as you're open and you're honest, and you can get that advice from whoever you need to, and to make sure that you are supported, and to ask questions at any given time. And I think that's something that we do well here, is that well-being space, and to be able to notice where we're falling behind, and if you get burnt out, or if we have staff here that are able to provide that advice and that guidance. And what I love about doing this is when it comes to well-being, there's no I suppose leadership position that you're in. Doesn't matter where you are in that position, there's always going to be someone there you can talk to, whether you're a manager or a team leader, or even just a staff member, or even a casual worker. When it comes to well-being, we're all here for the same reason, here for that support. So I think that's one of that's one of the biggest strengths that we have here at Murray Goulburn.
Lovely. Thanks so much for that, Taylor. I might actually just look on your website and see if there's a newsletter or something that we can subscribe to, because then we can sort of continue to share resources and information.
Yeah, look, I don't know if there's a statewide news. I know that we have our own internal message stick, and it might be something that might be on the website. I haven't looked, to be honest, but we also have through Aboriginal Murray Goulburn, we have our own newsletter. So what we can do is, and we send it out to external as well. So I'll when our next issue comes out, we can share it with you guys as well and put that in your email chain. And so you know all the deadly things that we're doing here, and there's it all comes through different has different stories and talks about different programs and success stories as well. And so I'll get on to TIFF to make sure that you guys are included in that.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Taylor. I have a question around recruiting Aboriginal foster carers.
Yep.
And what your process is in, basically letting the local communities know that, that you are needing foster carers.
Absolutely.
Aboriginal foster carers.
And we most certainly are needing Aboriginal foster carers. We've been, any event that we are invited to, we make sure that we have our foster care case or team leader and our workers there to be able to, provide that advice on how to become a foster carer. And one of the things that we encourage is to get in contact with our team leader, foster care team leader, Alicia Shelton, and that's just through. I can send you her email, but also you can just contact our office here in Wodonga, which I can also provide that number for you guys to be able to get linked in with Alicia, and then she can then follow up with whoever would like to become a carer, foster carer, because we're always definitely needing foster carers and that support through that program.
And do VACCA provide training for those foster carers?
So. I believe so, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask Taylor?
If I may, I have a few, but I guess I'll just sort of wind it down to just a couple. Don't want to overwhelm you too much, Taylor. Just want to say thank you, massive thank you. It's super informative. I've learned a lot, I know that. And yeah, Luke, one of our staff members, had to leave, but he just wanted to pass on such amazing work that VACCA's doing, and that you're an amazing speaker, and thank you for the opportunity. So so informative. So that was Luke, but it will be recording, so we can pop it up for other people that weren't able to attend. So if you're still okay with that, that'd be great.
Absolutely, that's fine.
I guess probably what resides with me, question that I'll ask is, I've got 3 young men and my boys, and with your men program, do you find that it's sort of engaging to the community? What numbers and age groups are you doing with that? Because I know our boys are struggling to sort of connect to mental health at the moment. I know it's a big thing, so yeah. So at the moment we cap it at and I think it's up to 10 men, and when I say it's it's a 16 and over, we get mainly like over 25-year-old to 30 to even older than that. So we don't really get that many young people from 16 and over, and that's not for lack of trying, but I think it's just the fact that the program is so raw and honest that the men that we actually work with at the moment are quite they're intense in terms of their experiences and their stories and stuff that they've been through. So I think it just depends on the young person, or and the person that the client that you're working with, and if it's appropriate for them. But I can give you an example of how
important this program has been for some of our men. That we had one of our participants was sitting at home and something was happening with his neighbour, and he sat down in his group and he told the story that something was happening, and I think he was revving, the neighbour was revving his car or something, and he said in the past what he would do is walk across and walk next door and belt him and fight him just to tell him to stop. But he said that, coming to the men's group or men's yarning circle has put that into perspective, and he's thought about his consequences, what would happen if he did that, and obviously not attending the men's yarning circle, but also it could have a lot more serious ramifications around his he could be locked up or could get arrested, and so he used the men's yarning circle as a way to not do that, and he found an alternative solution that didn't result in any physical violence or any physical altercations, and he was very proud of that, in which to say that he was he walked out of really proud of himself inside, but also was proud to share that story. And another one was another one of our men playing football, and there was a racist remark from one of the oppositions, and he said, in the past I would have done the same thing. I would have belted him, would have absolutely flogged him. But he said, I thought about the men's yarning circle, and I thought about the consequences that would lead to this, and I could get kicked off the team, or I could get kicked off the league, or get arrested. All the stuff that the consequence that could lead to when it comes to those physical altercations. And he thought about the men's yarning circle, and he said, I didn't want to do that, so he just walked away. And so there's, although it is only an 8-week program, there's a lot of conversations that happen each and every week, and different I think I can't think of the word, but just different ways that those conversations go ahead each week, and they walk out of that program a relatively changed man. And it's probably cliche to say, but it is. And they come out changed and very proud of how far they've come in that short amount of time, and they talk about it in the community, and they talk about it to other men that want that they know that might need that program in the future. And what we also do is we provide we provide evidence, so we take photos and videos, consented of course, and get their testimonies as well, feedback from the men, and we share that with their permission to our funding body, and just to say, look, this is what they've actually experienced and what they've actually said, to be able to jump into the men's yarning circle and how good it is for them, and no, they don't need a certificate of Aboriginality. If they identify, we don't work with men that don't need to have that Aboriginality. It's just about if they identify as Aboriginal, we're a self-identification service. We are funded by the department, in which the department is a self-identification organisation. So if they identify as Aboriginal, then we can't turn them away, and we wouldn't turn them away if they didn't have that proof of Aboriginality. And also just on the proof and stuff with vaccination status as well. So if they don't need to be double vaxxed or anything to access that service either, which we're going to, I think the next program we're going to be at Create Shed or something in Wangaratta, which they don't have any vaccination requirements either. So if you do have men that would be suited for this program, I can send you the referral form and the flyer as well. And if they're worried about being vaccinated or not, then that's not an issue. We also are looking at doing a program in Albury-Wodonga as well for the men down here as well, because we see that as a gap down here, that some of our men actually aren't able to access the men's yarning circle because of the travel, the distance. So we're trying to see if we can get something down in Albury-Wodonga as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's amazing. And the testimonies as well. That's just, it changes people's lives, obviously.
Yep.
Just one more quick one, and then I'll pass it on to other people. I'm sure they'll have questions. When you're talking about the programs that you support, support with sort of, the kids were doing their homework and sort of the out of school programs and things like that. Mm-hmm. Is that all run by VACCA staff, or say, can someone come in and volunteer just an hour afternoon helping someone with homework or something like that?
Look, it is run by VACCA staff, facilitated by VACCA staff, and we do like if someone wants to volunteer with VACCA, we definitely encourage volunteers to come and have a look, and if down the track could lead to employment, who knows? But look, if you're looking for to volunteer, if you know someone that is looking to volunteer, then there'd be a process to allow that to happen. But we do encourage volunteers to come and help out where needed, and we only have a limited number of staff to facilitate these different programs, so the more support that we have, the better. So I think that'd be a conversation that we can definitely have if that's something that you have someone in mind that might be willing to do that. But look, and although it is in the school, we do our facilitators are all VACCA staff, and we do have the teachers there as well that are able to provide that support.
Well, Taylor, we've certainly got your contact details, and maybe
Absolutely.
We'll do on resources and information from you that we can share.
Definitely, yeah. And look, and if there are any questions that do come up after this, feel free to send them my way. And like I said, if I don't have the answer, I've definitely got someone that will know the answer. So and I'll send through all the contacts and all the resources that we have.
Yeah, I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody, Taylor. We've really appreciated you sharing that information. It's been really valuable.
No worries. No, thank you so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks, guys.